Hello, people, and welcome aboard to watch yet another World Team Carcassonne Online Championships friendly match, this time between Latvia and Belgium. This is going to be most likely most likely going to be the second to last friendly match stream of the season. There's going to be one more on Sunday going against Finland between Finland and Spain, and then we are going to be jumping into the actual action next week when everyone starts to have their real games. Today, though, we are going to be going in with no pressure since we have a friendly match. There's going to be Apple G versus Crafty Raf since as Nico Willemans has kindly appointed in the chat as well, there has been a change in the lineup. Crafty Raf will be replacing Karkroth 9. Then we will have Esitsus versus Nico Willemans himself. Chris Kaukis versus Ludo. Oh my god. Ludoja. There's certainly a better way to pronounce um, uh, Ludo's name, but I am not an expert. Then we have only Denver versus Carl Verheyden, and Napalm Eye versus Nice Dicer, as well as Margots versus Nicolas Victor. And as we have been accustomed to, we already know that Belgium is going to be a tough one to bite. And so is actually Latvia. I'm not sure who would have the upper hand here. Both teams are exceptionally good and have been in the competitive scene and uh, regarding WTCOC especially have been active on earlier years as well, so no newcomers here. Perhaps some newcomer names, individual names on the teams, but I'm sure that we will have a quite a feast for today. Hi Nicholas, hi Alexei. Just say Ludo, yeah. Okay, I will. I'm gonna actually go with Ludo just because it's faster, quicker, easier, all that stuff, and just because I want to make the names more shorter whenever I can. Okay, so it is a debut for at least Ludo, and let's actually start from Ludo. Unless the chat has other ideas, then we will go whatever you guys want. But as a default, Helge is saying, okay, I'd like to see some craft ref as well. Okay, that's certainly reasonable asks. So why don't we start with Apple G and Crafty, and then I kind of want to squeeze in some of Krishna versus Ludo later. So, Ref. I knew it. They are starting early. I just knew it. Never on schedule. But this time I was prepared, and this time we are going to be seeing the entirety of the things. So, Apple G versus Crafty. Also, already a 2-point lead for Apple, getting the advantage of the 4 early points. Crafty being able to take 2 quick points with a crossroad, and Apple just keeps getting easy points, keeps scoring the city caps. Also controlling the only city feature on the board, And as Crafty, you have a few options. Like you could just start a city here and start blocking this city, or just, with a quick point tile, I would personally really like to use it as quick points, and so does Crafty. There is also a chance that Crafty just gets another crossroad, places it over here, separates himself from this rather vulnerable situation, and then is going to be able to have a long-term meeple advantage, maybe even a big long-term meeple advantage if Crafty gets like a triple city and goes over here, points the city to the right, and then Apple will have two meeples stuck on this square, and maybe in ideal case Crafty gets the city crossroad and uses that exact crossroad over here. All kinds of good stuff can happen to Crafty. Well, I mean, it almost worked like a dream. Apple is able to defend his meeple to a field crossroad though, so it's not gonna be like entirely according to the plans of Apple of Crafty, sorry, with this road, but it was a great effort almost. Now a big note, important note. 3 starting tiles already out, and as Crafty, I would actually maybe even go here instead of attacking, as he does. That of course does create variance, but it's only a 50-50 chance that Apple draws the final remaining starting tile, and in most cases he's going to be waiting for it for a long time if he ever gets it. And Crafty will have plenty of time to start blocking this city. And having a blocked meeple to just 5 points is not all that ideal. However, there is also future potential for Apple since 4 crossroads are already out. So possibly Apple could restrict this square to a crossroad. Doesn't really work anymore since Crafty more or less already saves the square fully. Actually, it is entirely impossible to block now. But on top of that, Crafty has a marvelous looking monastery cluster of 3 monasteries which are all stuck together and which all share quite a few tiles between each other. So this is just the most perfect triple monastery cluster that you could like almost ever get. And Crafty has to be happy about that. Why? Uh, Apple, why are you doing this? I mean, I know that it does like sort of kind of prevent this castle from attacks, but like first of all, it's not a complete save from attacks. Like Crafty can still attack from here, although it would endanger his city. But you had a perfectly fine future 8-point city, which is now more difficult to complete. Also, I think another mistake by Apple, I think he should go over here instead, because it would be way safer to build the city like that. There would be no attacking spot left at all on the right had Apple expanded his city upwards. Crafty gets 3 points, connects the roads together, and surrounds his monasteries. And Crafty even has another monastery spot here, although there's only 1 monastery left, so I think Crafty's move should be here and not risk these monasteries any more than he has to. Does that get the meeple back? I don't like this. I do not like this farmer. There is, although there are like couple of green squares, if there is only really like first of all one square that allows Crafty to start building cities effectively without surrounding Apple's monasteries, but also there is only one city on the field, maybe two, but this is a 50-50 city that Crafty does not want to be completed. So I heavily gotta say I despise this farmer. I think it is way too optimistic and preemptive. Although Crafty has a good position with his meeples so that he can get meeples back easily, I still don't think he should make decisions like this, like just dropping a farmer for 3 points, because it is not like the part of the game where there are only like 6 tiles remaining or so. You don't have to make this. Nonetheless, it's looking rather good for Crafty. 5 points ahead. 13, 17, 23, 26, 29. Then there is an 8 point city by Apple, so 21, 16, 7 plus 1 for Crafty, but has a lot more potential to get more meeples back. Whereas Apple still 3 meeples and I think should definitely make use out of this monastery. Maybe here for a 6 point spot. Chooses a 5 point spot instead. Not exactly sure why. Because it is at least just as vulnerable as this spot. Although like a blocking move here would come with a multi-purpose because it would start blocking the monastery and also create a platform to attack the city, but I still don't like this. It's just generally a 1 point a 1 point better monastery spot. Apple ruining his city is unfortunate since he already has a ruin in the south. I agree. I would definitely agree, Helge. Like just having 2 ruins is not ideal at all because you like although you can have like multiple maybe 8 or 9 point features, then you still need the same tiles to get any more points on those. Like no matter how safe you are with them, you still need the same tiles to get the points. Apple G is a she. Ah, I see. Uh, and judging by the other comments, seems like Apple G's name is Echita. I will try to keep that in mind. Thanks for the clarification. Now, Crafty making a road triangle move, starting a city. I think definitely not, maybe even actually definitely not worth starting a city in this rather vulnerable spot. If he gets any city caps, he can just take a field here or something and just make use out of the city caps that way. But more importantly, does get a blocking platform for Apple's city, and finally does get it blocked. The starting tile has still not gone, so still a useful block. But as you can see now, I mean, Crafty with only one meeple though has multiple spots to get meeples back. But this 1 point city, I think, really unnecessary. Really unnecessary. I don't think it's gonna be finished, at least very effectively. Because like I said, if he gets city caps, I think he would actually prefer to use them on like a 9 point field instead of just taking 1 point and not even being able to be 100% sure whether this city is going to be finished or not. It might not be. It might be like just a 1 or 2 point ruin in the end, which I think Crafty would not be too happy about. 2 meeples back in Crafty's hand, and Apple now grabbing the 9 point field, also with future potential of 2 city caps. Although it does seem like there are quite many of the city caps are already gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 5 city caps remaining. Well, that's quite plenty, considering that there are only 15 tiles remaining, so a third of those tiles are city caps. Crafty attacking the field immediately after. Now is he gonna make a blocking move or just attach himself to the field? Neither. Interesting. Okay, so a triangle remaining, 2 triangles remaining. Future prospects. Not too bad. But still, like, it's only gonna be most likely a maximum of 9 point field, of 6 point field. So really not worth the meeple, especially considering that again he has had that meeple on that field for like 30 or 40 tiles now. Also, did he just screw himself with the field? Is this a block? 4, 5, 6, 7. No, still 2 curves remaining. 75% chance. Well, now there is a possibility to block, and Apple G will immediately do that, and this is a minus a 9 point mini battle loss for Crafty, as his farmer is limited to only 3 points, whereas Apple has a 12 point field. Crafty does get the compensation in the form of a completed 12 point city and a 3 point road, also 3 points to the field. Rather nice use actually out of this rather unjuicy looking like city prospect, but seeing that Apple did need to add at least 1 city tile over here to get her meeple back in the first place, then Crafty was able to make use out of that knowledge very nicely. Still though, even though it looks like Apple has all the features on the board, she is losing by over 30 points on the scoreboard. And I don't think the features the features that she has cover enough. 38, 41, 42, 44, 52, 58, 52, 50, 45, 40, 32, 20, 12. Minus 12 and a meeple. Crafty, maybe even here. Like just if you want to be like truly evil. Oh wait, can this city be completed? That is the exact question now. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's one row triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4. One field triangle as well. Ah, so as crafty, I think you gotta go here. I would highly advise going here to prevent even the remote chance of Apple completing her city. Just the right thing. Apple now, without meeples, cannot really make use out of the crossroad. Could have maybe actually blocked a field connection, but I don't think it. I don't think it was even possible for Crafty to join the field in in whatever situation that Crafty would have deemed that second farmer necessary, as he is leading in points by way more than he has to. I stand correct that he was able, or he would have been able, with the remaining tiles, but not that he needs it. And although the point difference is 10 between like 10 to 20, I think the most headache that Apple had was definitely with the monasteries of Crafty. Though I gotta say that Apple definitely did do some mistakes, especially with this city early on. Now, other mistakes though, maybe like minor ones, but I don't think the kind of ones that caused too much issues. This might have been a mistake though. I'm not sure if there were city caps even remaining at the time that Apple took this 1 point city. There might not have been, because I saw like a straight road and a curve and a couple of triangles, but maybe not even one single city cap that was remaining. But a point to Belgium nonetheless, with an 18-point difference. Now, let's give some screen time for Ludo. And I am actually not surprised at all that they are still playing the first game, as Krishna definitely is my type of player when it comes to time. Likes to take a bit more of it than your average expert or even a master, which I like. Ludo is ahead on the scoreboard, but again we see just an onslaught of monasteries. 3 monasteries for Krishna, 1 for Ludo. A shared ruin, and with a quick look, it does seem like Krishna might actually have this, although he has resorted into attacking this field, which makes me think that he might not be ahead actually. So +3 equal +4 +8 +12, then +19, 11, 3 +5 for Krishna. But then the field is very menacing. Now, is there a crossroad at all remaining? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No crossroads. Are there tiles to go here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No field triangles. There are no dividers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, hold up. Is there a vanilla? There seems to be. There is a vanilla. So if Krishna goes here, he will save the connection to the only possible tile that he now has. But is this even necessary though? Can Ludo block this with anything? Wow! But I don't think Krishna needs to overrun the field, does he? Oh, actually, might. Oh, oh, it, oh, oh my. And because Ludo didn't have meeples in hand, he wasn't able to attack the field, even though it would have been 100% connection if Krishna gets the vanilla city cap. But very precise play by Krishna, taking into account that Ludo had indeed no meeples in hand and was not able to do anything to these threats. And with his final breath, Krishna is able to overrun the field. Just a massive field, actually. 6, 7 cities, 21 points times 2, actually. So like a 42-point move as his final one. You don't get to see those too often. Also, it was indeed Krishna's last chance, as without the field, if you just minus basically 42, there was absolutely no way that Krishna would have been able to make enough points by simply scoring an 8-point city and making another city to his field. Just no way. So let's see the second game, how it's gonna go down. Krishna has attuned to the customs and is keeping his score comfortably above the 800 mark. Not so ideal tile for Krishna. Looks like this is going to be an early ruin, whereas Ludo will be able to just make a quad triangle city. Krishna starting the first city cap 4-point city, and Ludo has a rather juicy 5-point monastery spot. Does have like a minor issue with leaving a city up for not a city, but leaving a road up for grabs for Krishna. But this, so sure, you are controlling your opponent's 1-point city, but you had a completely viable 5-point spot for a monastery, which would also have automatically a second monastery spot right next to it, which is the most ideal spot that you can have for early monasteries. So interesting choice by Ludo, sacrificing some immediate points just to get the just to be able to control one of his opponent's features. Krishna, is this worth going over here and taking 2 points, making a 5-point road? Krishna seems to think so. Alternative option would have been to just take 2 points here and harass this road, make it slightly more difficult to complete, or even to go over here and save this connection. But given that already 3 road triangles were out and the city is not so like high scoring, it's not like it was like specifically viable option to use a quick point tile to. And Krishna also now mitigates all future points of this ruin very conveniently by closing the ruin and starting a new city. And honestly, I would not be surprised if Krishna now goes over here and tries to overrun this rather small city, but still 6 triple cities left, and this is just, you know, a 12-point city upon completion, and you know, who likes to say no to 12 points? Especially when you have other places where you can get meeples back. Not too many of them, but you have. Plus, when you combine this with the knowledge that Krishna likes to have just an abundance of different cities open, you know, I really wouldn't be too surprised if Krishna made that move, but he doesn't. Instead, he is just looking to get a divider, or to maybe even get another city plus road tile and go over here. Now that he has 2 meeples, doesn't decide, so instead limits this square to more likely fit the divider. Ludo using a triple city not to join to the 3-point city of Krishna, but instead breaking down Krishna's ruin, which was already rather difficult to complete, but now ties the monasteries to it as well. But I don't think Krishna minds this at all. Like, I think Krishna would be just totally happy being with a ruin, which is already 8 points for now, and is likely going to grow. And if, like, in generally thinking, like, if you have a ruin with 9 points or more, it's easily justifiable for 1 meeple. But now there are even some scenarios in which Krishna will be able to actually complete this ruin with just by just using triple cities and triangles on it, which this move does indicate that Krishna does have some at least long-term ideas of doing so, of completing this city. Ludo. Maybe going over here would not be actually a bad idea. Threatening to either block this square or to connect to this ruin. And there are not like almost any other good spots for an extender anyways. Could maybe go even over here, protect his road meeple a little bit, and also harass this 1-point city meeple, which might actually be even a better move than this. I like it. I definitely like it. Ludo. Now, is he gonna continue with the plan? Oh, maybe go here instead of here. Because then you'll be able to maybe get this monastery meeple back at some point, and you're still leaving your opponent's meeple to a rather uncomfortable position where it can be blocked with a road tile here and forced going to the starting tile position. But I don't really like this though, because there's still one city crossroad that goes here and two starting tiles or three starting tiles, so four tiles that go here able to complete the city. I am not a fan of this. I think this just putting the triple city one more tile to the right would have been much larger of a threat, even though it would possibly give like more points to Krishna, at least momentarily. Then this starting tile spot is very easy um, to block with two out of the three remaining crossroads, and also like just this spot can be blocked or could have been blocked eventually. Ludo going over here, or just 1 point to your monastery, creating a juicy monastery spot. Grand Krishna now with two meeples, he finally gets the divider he's been looking for. Surely he's gonna use that. Surely. Like you could maybe start a field too, but you only have two meeples, and you have been looking for this exact tile for this exact spot. And now that you get it, it would be very weird not to use it to that intended purpose. Now I think Ludo can go over here and try to block this meeple. And if he gets this meeple blocked, then it could be also great to have this monastery blocked. So, you know, two for the price of one. Krishna now, is he gonna sacrifice 2 points from the ruin? Like this would just be a perfect tile to continue the ruin, like to here. But I think just the prospects of possibly getting this meeple out are going to be more important for Krishna. But if he does it, then what is the way he is likely to direct this? I would say like the field on the right, because there are only two daggers remaining in the deck. Wow, just doesn't care. I gotta say I'm not actually too happily surprised. I think his chances of getting the meeple back after this move would have been tremendously like just better than risking it for one move just for 2 points. But okay, it seems to have worked quite nicely. Also gets a 9-point field at the same time. Doesn't have that field doesn't have too many future uh, possibilities to grow, but it really doesn't need to grow. 9 points is a very justifiable meeple investment. Plus Krishna is ahead on the scoreboard by a lot, and judging by the features on the board, he is in the lead like in every possible way. Despite the monastery that Ludo just got, making 7 points, getting a meeple back. I think Krishna is just looking fantastic here. It doesn't meeple the monastery though. But like what do you need the meeples for? You can get a meeple back from here and then just with a couple of road tiles get this monastery back, and then you have a 6-point monastery. Plus you can get this road meeple back. Like you don't need to like really save the meeples, and I think Ludo is behind enough that he might have to start taking like increasingly larger risks the further the game goes. Let's actually have a bit of a point standing. So -6, -5, -5, +2, +3, +8, +15, +6, 2, 1 equal, and the ruin. So Ludo is -10. Uh, Not too impossible to come back, I would say, but even though you are in a meeple disadvantage and now -14, but I think just this monastery would have been a great add to your points, because it looks like there are still a ton of just regular road tiles that you would be then able to use effectively, getting 2 points on either side. And like it's also like the unwritten law of myself that you can't you can't waste you can't waste stackable monasteries unless you are in like in a dire situation. Welcome to the chat, Ref. Sounds like you already won your match. Cleanly 2-0. I will mark that up soon enough after I, of course, check it first because I am the unofficial referee. Krishna with a field triangle might add just 1 point to the to the ruin, or might actually cover up any attacking spots to this 9-point field. Maybe even taking a 6-point field and just double scoring from these two cities, but I think that's unlikely considering that there are multiple 6-point cities, 6-point fields available. 4 points for Krishna. Doesn't need to worry about Ludo joining to this 9-point field, as this field is already going to be 9 points very soon once Krishna takes the city. And then because they are on equal meeples, then Krishna doesn't also need to worry about the attack coming from Ludo from here or from here, as Krishna can just then equalize that second meeple by dropping a meeple of his own. Ludo finally gets his road out. And now with the meeple advantage, I would highly advice, I'd say that now it is kind of a must to fight for the fields or to overrun the fields, like maybe starting from this one. -2 equal +5 +10 +9 +16 12 3 3 5 6 7 -7 or -8 is the point score of Ludo at the moment, but the situation has now changed because Ludo is up on meeples, which means that just by joining to one of the fields, either to this or overrunning this, it's gonna either put Ludo in the lead or to be only like -1 or -2, which is totally doable to come back from. The question is, does Ludo find suitable tiles to do that? Maybe not with this, because it gives a city cap away. Decides to do it anyway, though. Just wants to have a possibility to overrun this field as soon as possible. But given that possibility of overrunning the field, I think Ludo should definitely indirectly, or actually rather directly, defend his 9-point field that already exists from any attacks. So go here, go here, and prevent the attacking spot that Krishna is likely going to be using at any given moment. Let's also count. Yeah, of course. This works just as fine from this side. Although does it? I mean, this creates possibility for Krishna to still maybe get to the field via curve, whereas this would not. Ludo gets the connection, and this is actually just a 9-point move. Now controls a 12-point field versus a 12 and 9 that it was just a second ago. Krishna, I think, is still in the lead. Maybe like 1 or 2 points actually only. +10, 5, 15, 17, 9, 18, 19, 20, 21, 25, 34, 35, 23, 16, 11, 4. Okay, +4 for Krishna. So does not actually need to attack this field. If he can just keep scoring quick points and stay in the lead, he'll be just fine. But can that be the case though? Because there is still possibility for Ludo to get this meeple back with maybe like just a tempo. So a road tile here and road tile here, and then just a 4-point move with no meeple investment practically. So it doesn't necessarily need quick point tiles. Krishna decides to take a road with a 7-point opportunity. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Still 3 curves remaining, so chances are that this road will keep on growing by with the 3 points. Now Ludo, is he gonna make this move, or is he just gonna? Okay, he's just gonna take a 6-point field. Krishna scores easy 4 points. Does use one of the curves though. Ludo. There's a 2-point spot, but it was very close that Ludo would not be able to even use this quick point tile. Krishna assumably just taking 2 points to his ruin, but is it going to be endangering his ruin to an attack? That is the question. It might. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No triple cities. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Still 2 triangles. I think 1 with field, 1 without. 1, 2, 3, or 2 with. No. Yeah. So 1 with field, 1 without. But if there is a city cap which can go over here, then that is going to be the decisive factor which will indeed affect on Krishna's decision not to take 2 points. Ha! Okay, Ludo made a connection spot to the city, but it is very easily taken away. Might be so that like whatever tile Krishna drew, he would be able to either place it here or to here, and just deny a connection platform. Is the 5 points? I don't think it'll be enough since Ludo just denied 5 points from himself by not taking this monastery. But now I think he might have to settle with the 5 points. Honestly, it might have been just a mistake to not take this monastery, because he might be able to, or he I think would have been able to just muster up 7 points. Huh? Yeah, but you can't finish this city. Why take a 4-point city when you can take a 5-point city? Interesting decision. Interesting decision for sure. Krishna gonna be able to take a 6-point field, but does he want to just take a 3-point? Does he just want to take 3 points to his road and keep a maple? It looks like so. Ludo using the final curve to just add now 1 point. And is gonna be missing out on 2 points actually. Assuming that he would have taken the monastery for 5 and then 6 and then for 7 points. So minus 2-point mistake for Ludo, but I don't think that will matter. I think it's gonna be rather close anyways, but I think Krishna still won this. Nine. And then 6 and then a 12 point. It's a 6-point difference. So a rather close game. I would say that there are definitely some more or less clear mistakes from Ludo by, well, first of all with this monastery, but then also with this triple city that he did not place it here. He did not. Instead, he allowed Krishna to still have a fighting chance to get this meeple back, and like he did, and so was able to use a meeple advantage for quite some time actually, I think. And then he also, yeah, even though he did set up the block with this extender, he didn't follow through with it, which, in my opinion, is some wasted moves if you just change your plans like on the run, you know. Like you can kind of change your plans on the run if the situation like changes drastically, but this is not one of those cases. Like you specifically went here to try and harass this meeple, but this is not the way to harass this meeple. This is the way to save this meeple. But it is a 2-0 win for Krishna. Not too big of a surprise though. Krishna still #1 rated on PGA. Yes, he is. He has been enjoying that title for I think quite a while now. I don't think he has been too many times like under 800 recently. Only into oh, okay, doing a very rapid pace. Okay, so let's do the scores though. So this should be 2-0. Nico left for last. Who would have thought? Yeah. Uh, well, I don't want to point fingers, but okay, let's do the rest of the points when Nico's match is over, if that indeed is the last one. Is it 1-1? It's not even 1-1. Who would have thought? uh, what is happening here? A 25-point lead for Nico and 3-0 meeple advantage for Nico. Wow, wow. Okay, let's see the situation. So plus 25, plus 32, plus 40, plus 41, plus 47, 43, 35, 30, 26, 22, plus 7 for Nico, and 3 meeples more. Yeah, well, that's actually fantastic because I saw that Esetsus was actually in the lead 1-0, so we are gonna be seeing a decider unless I don't know how many miracles needs to happen for Esetsus to win this, but because he can't complete this city and he he cannot get a meeple back from here. He can get a meeple back from here, but also gives a meeple back to Nico. Okay, interesting choice. Uses a meeple already to take a 4-point ruin, even though he was able to take a 4 points added on his ruin anyways, without a meeple investment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One crossroad remaining, which is a quick point tile, but only one quick point tile. So I think just, rather not use a meeple here just yet. Like maybe like on this move. Like just see what you get and use the meeples as you go. Okay, Nico gonna be able to get a 6-point field. Actually not. He's gonna go over here and take a 3-point field because there is the city crossroad remaining to go here, and then Nico will be just able to join this 15-point field and be even further in the lead. I did also miss a 6-point road. Ah, what are you doing? No, 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 not this, not this. Nico, just you gotta try to humiliate your opponent. Just when you are in the lead by like a quadrillion points and with quadrillion meeples, then you gotta go for the moves that hurt the most. You don't go um, for the moves that can actually get you the most points immediately. You go for the ones that get you um, the destruction with the tiles that your opponent wants to place into a particular place, which was this. Although, um, of course, Nico was able to get to the field from here as well with the same crossroad and maybe even with some other tiles. But like this move, I think would just make like uh, more mental damage. Huh? Ah, two meeples on the field. So it seems. Ah, okay, interesting. Okay, so I have missed a key factor, which means that green is not the only is not the only color. It's not the only color that is difficult to see on the board. I see you out there. Everyone who screams green is is the cheat color. Okay, Nico, 26 seconds left. He didn't go on minus time, right? I think he would have given up by now if he did. Right, just adding 2 points to the ruin. And Nico with the final tile, just 7 points. Very nicely. Ah, but Esitus gets the connection anyways. Gets a -6 plus 3, so 9, a 13-point move on the final one, so that's a nice bunch of points. But I hardly doubt that's gonna save him. Or actually, is it? Wait. They're saying it's a tie. But that's still a loss for Esitus because he was the starting player. And as far as I can see, no tiles were discarded, right? Wowzer. That is not what I thought was gonna happen. But yeah, indeed, a draw and a win for Nico nonetheless. Although I gotta say, it was looking like a kind of a steamroll for Nico with his 3-0 meeples and being ahead in scores. But somehow, some way, Red pulled out some miracles. now we can now we can do the rest of the points. And Carl has lost to only Denver 2-0. Crafty, I called it. Taking the 6-point field was dangerous. Any other point with that Meeple would have done it. That is very much true. Any 1-point move with that Meeple was going to be enough. I hope Nico wasn't just in time trouble after all the thinking and just wasn't aware of the tiles. That would be just horrendous. Napalm versus another point for Latvia. Another 2-0 point. 3-1. And then Margot has won. So Latvia making some fatality scene today with a 4-1 score already and a chance to go to 5-1 still with the decider match of Nico and Esetsus. Yash. Hi, Krish. Always maximize emotional damage. Yes, that is very important. Happened to me many times. Not I think in any competitive games, but in casual games, way too many times. Hey, let's see. +2 for Latvia. Then +5 with the ring road. +6. +3, and we have blocked monasteries for both players. And it's rather uncomfortable. Rather uncomfortable farmers for for red at the moment, but looks like they are still going to be easily connectable. Though this city might cause some issues, as since when it will be completed, it will provide a blocking platform for Nico to block this square, or if this square is connected first, then of course Nico will be able to mess with this 1-point city. So yes, another example of a multiple features from the same player very close to each other and causing harm to one another, at least momentarily. Is it just now? Is he gonna take 3 points here or just take a meeple back? There are still all types of tiles over here, so it's not really a that huge of an issue if this gets restricted to a dagger. Still would be uncomfortable though, for sure. Estetus could get his farmer blocked at the top, gotta be careful. Yeah, exactly, that is for sure. But for now, since there is like immediate connection to this farm and then immediate connection to this farm, the chances of getting both red farmers to this 9-point field is quite likely and is not in danger of getting those trapped, at least just yet. But like Alexei said, gotta be careful with this. It can be very awkward very soon, especially when if Nico decides to go over here and then block and then place anything here and not even have to place anything here, because when Esetus then connects this, then automatically it will create a spot for Nico to start blocking this square from the left. So for example, this tile, Nico, instead of doing like just a 2-point move, he could like seriously go here, like this way, I think, just to protect like his lower field. I'm not sure if I don't think he sees the same potential as I do. Like this is of course a kind of a long-term thing, but it can be achieved with only 2 tiles, and it can be a long-term pain in the ass for Esitus. Now, Nico, are you gonna go with, are you gonna fulfill the plan? Now go even here and just make a spot for divider. No, now he's gonna start completing the plan. Indirectly going over here. Which is why I think Esetus should go over here now. Because if you don't go over here now, then it's gonna be really awkward for you to go over there later. If Nico does, if Nico places any tile over here, any tile. Even though this creates another possible blocking platform to this square, because you will then be able to use both field tiles and road tiles to block it, then I think Esetus still had to go here, but maybe he's waiting for like a curve or something, just to be able to have like an extra green square in the worst case if this gets blocked, but it doesn't though. And now 2 of the daggers have already gone, so if Nico gets a convenient tile, he'll go over here and block this connection, but it doesn't appear to be the case. Esetus will connect this farmer. Should be quite an instant move. I don't know what he's thinking about, and I don't like it. Okay, he goes for it. Nice. Makes the connection happen, and just in time as Nico gets the final dagger and was about to complete this block. Woo! Kind of a wonderful timing for Esetus, and is definitely more or less smiling behind the screen. Long-term pain in the ass is now official Carcassonne terminology. I don't know about that, but it's what I'm gonna use. Esetsu seems to play unnecessarily risky game. Well, I'm not too sure about that. I mean, like, sure, he has went for a second farmer here, but like, surely, like, this farmer has definitely been placed before this triple city, and given the plentiful amount of like early cities and lots of well, sort of a lot of open squares, I think this has been like like a rather fine move actually to drop a second farmer here, because there is also the backdoor opportunity to connect from above. But you know, when you look at the situation only at the point where this square is already blocked and there is some vulnerability over here, you know, then it might seem like, you know, Esetus is going like unnecessarily risky, like you said, but it might not be the case. With two meeples though, is to still be waiting for an extender or for a tube divider, which there are one extender and two tube dividers remaining still. He kinda needs to get this meeple back somewhat soon actually, to be able to not be in a meeple disadvantage, because for example now I think Nico will definitely attack this field with a second farmer, or technically a third farmer, I guess you could say, because it might be so that the chances are that this lower field farmer is also going to join the common fight, like automatically when Nico continues his road, and then just one tile here and everything connects. So now, well, two moves that Nico could do. Either just go here, add one point to the road, and add one city to this field, or just join the fight early on. The thing is, though, that Nico doesn't have any meeples that he can really get back, like, quickly. This is a very uncomfortable road because it's open from both ends, needs two crossroads, or just two road ends to end this road, and already six crossroads and one triple city with a road is gone, and also one of the road monasteries, so not too many crossroads actually left to finish this road. And whenever you get a road end, it kind of feels like a waste always when you have to like negate uh, some of the like immediate quick points just to be able to end your road from one end when it's still vulnerable from the other. So not the most glorious road here. He had a chance to save that field connection, but he decided to make ring road. I think you mean like this, but this might have been earlier on. I'm not sure at which point exactly as it started or created this ring road, but it might indeed be so that he would have been able to go over here or over here like earlier. Nico now finally going for the third meeple on the field, and it is in a blockable position though. And even if Nico gets the save, which he doesn't, well, at least it's going to be a 6-point field, likely 9. But if he gets the save, then Esetus is just gonna add a meeple of his own over here and just equalize, which I'm not sure would be too great for Nico though. But it's not like it would be a great idea to like block yourself either, would it? Because you're losing this field. Although it is 12 point and this would be 3. Well, there might be some idea to it. Let's see the point difference now. So plus 3 plus 8 plus 15, 24, and then these are equal, and then 23, 15, 12. And as Nico just pulled yet another extender, the last of its kind, now Esetus only has 2 tube dividers to go over here and save this meeple, which will always make 2 cities to Nico's field. And if Nico just decides not to unite this meeple into here, it might be that this southern field will be even more lucrative than this, for now, to be the main field. Nico might drop one more field meeple himself there. Yeah, that is also, or that was also an alternative option, but then when both players are kinda in a meeple shortage, as a result of a road like this and a city with not so many tiles to complete it, you don't really want to be using 4 meeples on a field when your opponent only has 2. Like even if you would be able to like secure the field, then it's always very uncomfortable to be in a meeple or in like a heavy meeple disadvantage, because you just won't be that able to make too many lucrative moves with like city caps or triangles or whatever, even monasteries. Nico draws yet another tile that Esetus needs. Esetus now left with only one singular tube divider to fit into this square. And what? No! Surely this has to be a mistake. Surely. Why would you ever give Esetus the meeple back when you have drawn every single tile so far that Esetus needs? Why? It doesn't make sense to me. Like, sure, you get 2 more cities to your field, but you are giving up your meeple advantage, which you were gonna increase like further. Like you get points for your field, but you could just add these city caps to your field and not even meeple it. Just do a safe 2 city cap add to your field and get future points from them. And maybe, since you've been drawing every single tile that Esetus has needed, like chances are that you are gonna be just drawing the final tile that Esetus needs also. And now that Esetus has 2 meeples, he will again have a chance to drop a third farmer and perhaps even just straight up overrun this main field with 3 to 2. Whereas if Esetus only has 1 meeple in hand, he is very, very unlikely to do that before the very, very end of the game. Nico has Nico has secret Latvian citizenship. Yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards that theory. I would like to think that Nico is not like purposely throwing the game, but he is giving me some ideas. Essetus, I don't think will be meepling this monastery. Although, with let's see, so equal on points, so +3, -3 for red, -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so -21. Actually, also somehow I have been saying that uh, when Essetus goes for another meeple, he would be winning this field 3-2, but that's not the case because he is already winning the field at the moment because he already has 3 meeples invested. So, which makes this move even worse. Nico, come on, don't do that. Okay, now Nico goes for the third meeple, and I think Essetsu will immediately follow with a meeple of his own, going to, taking a 6-point field. Or if there are no straight roads remaining, he can of course just go over here immediately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so still 3 straight roads remaining, which is exactly. Why do you give up your meeple advantage? Why? Why? It's a terrible move. Just the immediate points have just been like just shining in Nico's eyes far too brightly. Two starting tiles still left. Are there daggers? 1, 2. No daggers. So this spot is still possible to get blocked. But then it might be actually it is possible for Essetus to maybe bring this farmer over here. So there is a backdoor option if the first one fails, which is just fantastic news for Essetus. The fields are actually +6 for Nico. As it stands, maybe 18, 6, 15 equal, well, +9 at the moment, but it's only temporary. Okay, Estetsus creates an attacking spot to the 18-point field. Nico not able to block this spot. Unfortunately for him, he would be really pleased with a triangle or with a triple city to get to block the square and to be able to get a 3-on-3 situation going on to this now 12-point field, but later on maybe an 18-point field if Essetsus connects from here through a curve. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still 2 curves remaining. Nico not able to block the square, and therefore Estetsus connects and is now winning a 9-point field and also a 9-point field over here, so they cancel each other out. But so there, then the field fight is going on with this 12-point field versus this 18-point field. So now Nico is indeed winning the fields by 6 points. Also 6-point road, so +12, +11, 8. So Nico is still in the lead of plus 8 points, but he has been doing weird stuff that has not been able to at least help his winning chances. Though both players are with one meeple, and there are now possibilities to attack this 18-point field, which I think Estetus will have to do at some point. Estetus also, maybe there's a possibility for Estetus to get the final remaining starting tile, go over here, drop a farmer, and since I think this is now the final remaining crossroad, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 8. This is the final remaining crossroad, but I think there are still straight roads remaining. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One straight road remaining, but still that's enough. If Estetus does have a possibility to go over here with a starting tile and then take the final remaining straight road, then maybe have a curve and then overrun this field even, like entirely. Is Nico gonna do this? No, that would be idiotic. Great idea by me. Just a fabulous idea. But I think Nico might be do something like this maybe to prevent the starting tile idea. Though there might be other tiles that go over here, other city caps, which Estetus would be then able to use like exactly the same way. Okay, instead he's going to be blocking his own road, but also blocking the possibility for Estetus to come to the 18-point field. And it might indeed be so that Estetus will need to take the risk of going with here with either the starting tile or with the straight road, and then hope for the final remaining curve over the two remaining 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One curve. Might have to put his faith into that one tile. Attack at the bottom right via Road Dorito. True. You can also attack from here. Very true. Still needs to get that straight road or a starting tile. So blocking this spot will not be enough, but tiles are running out. As it will only have 2 tiles left, we'll need them to be the ideal tiles to attack it. And I think Nico will be able to block that connection before. There is no tile that will give Estetus a attacking chance from here anymore, because all curves are gone, all field crossroads are gone, and road monasteries are gone. So Estetus will need to attack from here to get big points. Doesn't really have anything to do with this tile. I guess he could try create just another attacking opportunity to the field, just as an extra, if this gets deleted from the game. Where to exactly though? So what are the remaining tiles? No monasteries, just adds 1 point. Nico gets the road triangle as well. This is terrible news for Esetsus, unless there are more of them. Hold on, hold on. There might be more. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's still one remaining, which means that if Nico doesn't go here, Esetsus will have a chance, I think. So +2, +1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 equal +3, -15, -11, -17, but the tiles do not come, and Esetsus is not able to attack and will lose the game. And I think the final remaining tile in Nico's hand is a straight road. I hope I am not mistaken. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is a straight road, and unfortunately, the right tiles do not come at the right time. And even though Nico did not prevent this only possibility that Esetsus has, that Esetsus had to maybe even come very close at least, or actually might even have had the chance to win, then it does not end up biting him, as Esetsus is not able to get the tiles in time. And this is gonna be a consolidation point for Belgium, not going into the void with a 5-1, but instead into the void with 4-2, which is actually it is gonna be a better result in the actual tournament because of the tiebreakers. But you know, in practice games, well, maybe you get some mental points, but still a win for Belgium. 2, 4, and 2. Yep. Could have done that earlier with the T-shaped crossroad, maybe. But then if he had done it with the T-shaped crossroad, then he might have, or he would have missed out on some quick points, I reckon. I think he used a crossroad for quick points, which means that he would not have enough points to then actually win. The field would not be enough. Congrats for Latvia. It might be so that Latvia hasn't actually lost a single friendly match that they have played. I will actually check that, because a perfect score is always something to be happy about. So a 5-0 decimation against Finland. Let's just skip through that. Then we have a 3-3 versus Ukraine, so a tie, not a loss, but a tie. So still undefeated. Then and yeah, then I think the third game of today's is going to be the final one. I don't think Latvia has played more than 3, or at least on the website there doesn't seem to be any more. So a 4-2 today. So undefeated in friendly matches. that's gonna be it for today. There's gonna be, as a reminder, one more stream on Sunday at 1800 UTC with Finland versus Spain. And I'm really hoping that the curse that has now been ongoing, which is that every time I have tried to stream a Finland match, there has been interceptions or something has been messed up. But I definitely hope that there is going to be at least one match that the stream is going to be like normal, like this one, without interruptions, and that I can actually use as a learning tool for all the Finns. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you for sticking here today, and I will see you soon with some more Carcassonne content. Bye for now.